Let's start in Dallas, or I guess in Jacksonville, rather. The Dallas Cowboys, huge letdown game. I'll let you guys take it away.
Well, it's Duval, Mitchell. All I heard all week was I was wrong for taking the Cowboys out of my power rankings. They were like, Dallas Cowboys, we're the real deal this year. We're really a great team this year. I can't wait to show you that we're a different Dallas Cowboys team. And then you know what they do, Mitchell? They show you they're the same old Dallas Cowboys. Overtime loss, pick six. Now they're calling for Dak Prescott's job. They're saying, hey, we need to get rid of Dak. Let me let you know, Dallas Cowboys fans, Dak ain't going nowhere. So get used to him. Keep buying jerseys.
Yeah, I mean, when you watch Mahomes complete 19 throws to end the game, when you watch Josh Allen in that blizzard, when you watch Herbert today or Burrow's second half on the road, those four guys are just different. I like Dak. I don't think you can blame the loss on Dak. But I do believe, Richard, we're starting to see stuff from Trevor Lawrence. I mean, I've watched him in the last month, and I'm like, here we go. Thanksgiving, second year. I'm not saying he's Herbert, Burrow, Allen, Mahomes. I think those guys are just different on the planet. Even Aaron and Brady and Stafford, that's the next class. But now, you know this. You picked on some young quarterbacks. He still tries to do too much because you can do that in high school and college, right? Like, you can decoy. You played plenty of young quarterbacks, and you just kind of let them know this is wide open. And he still bites. Right. Herbert, Burrow, Allen, Mahomes don't as often. But when I watched that game, it wasn't anti-Dak. It was just getting interesting down in Jacksonville because this dude, he can spin it. He's got a little Josh Allen movement. I didn't think Dallas played terribly. As you know, they play the Eagles next. The Eagles played poorly. Total look ahead. All the sharps love Jacksonville and the Bears today. So my takeaway was, all right, Jacksonville's fun now. Jacksonville can play with anybody now. That was my takeaway.
No question. I mean, this is the first game the Cowboys have lost in. I think they were 16-0 or 17-0 when Zeke gets 15 carries. 15 or more carries, they were 16-0, and they took a loss today. I mean, you're right about Trevor Lawrence. I was not on the train. I mean, you saw last year. I mean, I guess Urban Meyer can make anybody. He can make a Ferrari look bad. But I think I knew Doug Peterson would have a great effect on him. I didn't see him developing like this. Travis Etienne Jr. Is starting to come into his own. Obviously, he was hurt last year, and then Rashawn Jenkins out of nowhere has the game of his life, and that, I mean, it's just cool to see.
Well, Rich, you touched on it last podcast. The Cowboys are a team you said that you can foresee losing first round of playoffs, squeaking in, and they're stumbling down the stretch. They're not looking impressive by any means. And this Jaguars team, Colin, to your point, is starting to get a little hot. Trevor Lawrence, first in completion percentage and passer rating since November. I mean, this guy's starting to become the real deal.
Yeah, we tend to, I'm a sportscaster, so I always try to make sure that when I watch a game, I don't go negative. And so it's easy to bang on the Cowboys. And like Richard, I don't trust them situationally. The Green Bay game, this game, I don't. I mean, you're talking about Andy Reid and Mahomes. When Brady and Belichick or Pete Carroll and you guys, like to win Super Bowls, man, it is situational excellence because the margins shrink. So I don't trust Dallas. But my takeaway on that was, here we go. This league is really cool when you get quarterbacks in their prime that pop. And to your point, I've watched Trevor now 4 or 5 straight games, and I'm like, he's not Herbert yet, but he is not far off. So to me, not every loss has to be negative. Like, I think Dallas is going to play really well against Philadelphia, but to win Super Bowls, you need situational excellence. And I just don't trust Mike McCarthy. I just never trust Dallas in those big spots. I don't.
I mean, you can talk about it last year. I mean, with the game on the line in the playoffs against the San Francisco 49ers in the last couple seconds of the game, everybody was like, oh, they should spike the ball. They should call a timeout. They should do all this. And they ruined it. And they lost. And they went home in the first round, as they usually do. Now, they may get out of the first round this year. The AFC South, they'll likely play whoever wins that division because nobody seems to want to win it. And it'll still probably be Tom Brady. And they'll likely get out of that round. I don't see them getting past the San Francisco 49ers or the Philadelphia Eagles or anybody like that. But Mitchell, Kirko, Mitchell Kirko. Like, Kirko wants to be, like, he's a Jekyll and Hyde. He's like, I'm Patrick Mahomes. And then you're like, whoa. Who are you?
I think the bigger story here, guys, 33-0 at the half. Matt Ryan, how does he find himself on the negative side of history 2 times? I mean, I thought 28-3 in the Super Bowl was enough, but you're up 33-0. I mean, Rich, you could probably go behind center and carry that team to the victory in the second half, would be my guess. How does this happen?
Mitchell, resilience. I mean, the coach showed a resilience that many teams don't have, and I think it's a veteran group of people that just go out there and say, "Hey, just keep chopping wood." You know, they don't have any quit in them. And I think, I didn't really believe in Minnesota in the playoffs, but I think a game like this kind of galvanizes them in a way and kind of brings them together. It makes it more dangerous in my eyes, because it's like they're convincing themselves, like, hey, we can do it from anywhere. We can come back from any deficit. That's a team that won't quit, a team that won't die. That's a dangerous team.
Well, and golfers get what they call yips. Matt Ryan can get those. Matt's known as a hardworking guy, pretty rigid on his preparation. Matt likes things a certain way. That's my sources have always told me. Peyton Manning was a little bit like this. They call them teeth clenchers. They're like upset. But Peyton did not like Peyton hated playoff games. Halftime's longer. Commercial breaks are longer. Interviews are longer. Matt's really rigid. And I thought he got really tight. Really, really tight. And sometimes, Derek Carr at the end of that Raider game, when that throw to the end zone, Derek Carr, the knock on him early in his career, he wouldn't let it rip. And you guys know Herbert Mahomes, they just let it go.
He just let it go.
Not everybody's open in the NFL. You got too many good players. And I thought Matt got really tight. And if the quarterback's tight, the team feels tight, now your defense is on the field. 3 and out. 1 first down, out. 3 and out. Come on, you can't ask DBs and pass rushers to be on the field for 58 plays and a half. So I think, you become your quarterback, whatever your quarterback is, the personality of your coach. And I think Matty got tight. The defense got tired, and that happens.
Yeah, and Kirk got loose. I mean, he threw those two first half interceptions, threw that pick 6, and everybody was like, talking bad. Oh, the same old Kirk. Because bad Kirk is bad Kirk. Everybody's seen him. He folds in the playoffs. He doesn't play well in prime time. Everybody's had this for years. But then you look at the Kirk that showed up in the second half of that ball game. He threw for 460 yards on the game, almost threw for a 500 bill. Like 4 touchdowns, striking, because he's fearless. I mean, you play on house money. You play with nothing to lose. You play, hey, we're not supposed to win this game. You become a very dangerous person and a very dangerous team. And if they can play like that loose in the playoffs, they're going to need their defense to show up at some point or another. But if that offense can play like that, look out.
Colin, quick story here that when Richard was a free agent after he got let go by the Seahawks and was pondering where to go and inevitably chose the 49ers, there was that was the same period of time that Kirk Cousins was on the move. And in our conversation, Rich was like, I'm either going to go to the 49ers or wherever Cousins ends up. And I'm like, what is your obsessions with Kirk Cousins? And he's just like, he likes him. And I mean, God bless the guy. He put up 460 yards. He's a Michigan State Spartan. I can't speak much better than that, being an alum myself. But there's something about Kirk Cousins. He's winning close games. This is a 3rd team ever, guys, Minnesota Vikings, to have 10 one-possession wins in a season. So,
yeah, a lot of offensive coaches believe in their system. McVay, Kyle. And when you believe in your system, you don't want your quarterback ad-libbing out of your plays. Kyle wanted Mac Jones. He liked Kirk Cousins. He liked Matt Ryan. Mahomes would obviously be great, but Patrick's sometimes going to just do his thing. Josh Allen going to do his thing. So Shanahan is such a believer in his system that, Kirk Cousins is going to do what the coach says. And there's a handful of coaches in this league that I feel that way. Now, Andy Reid's not like that. Andy kind of finds out what you are and kind of just does, with Michael Vick, he had one offense. With Kevin Cobb in Philly, he had another offense. With Donovan McNabb, who was athletic but not super accurate. So Andy's really unique. He's kind of like, my player's a canvas, I'll paint whatever's available. But a lot of these coaches, and I think Shanahan's one of them, here's my play. Now, by the way, Garoppolo doesn't throw outside the numbers. No mobility, never runs out of a play. Brock Purdy, 4-year starter at Iowa State, completed 68% of his throws. Mostly doesn't run out of a play. So that, I get the Cousins infatuation with these offensive coaches. Zimmer didn't get along with him. The new coach and offensive guy does because he has, like McVay, he has a system. So Kirk can distribute. I always say Mahomes and Josh Allen are Steph Curry. Magic. Kirk Cousins is Chris Paul.
Right.
Distributor. He's going to hit those mid-range jumpers, but you kind of know what you get every game with Chris Paul. Steph will pull shit out, and you're like, whoa, what did I just see?
Right.
Right. And so a lot of those coaches, Richard, as you know, I mean, you played with Russell Wilson. It probably drove it sometimes Pete nuts. Sometimes it was almost like planned ad libs. It's like, what are we doing here? But, a lot of offensive coaches don't like that.
No question. It's hard on them. But they love Kirk now. I mean, he in that system. And Jefferson was saying it before. He was like, hey, if I got in a system like Cooper Kupp is in, he's like, I'd have 1,800, 1,900 yards. Like, I love to be in a system like that. And he's in a system like that with Kevin O'Connell. And look at him, about to break the receiving record. I mean, I still don't know if that should stand that way. I still think it should be a 16-game record and a 17-game record. That's kind of weird for me. But he's about to break it.